You guys grabbing glasses to make him drink more?
We're trying to ring the bell for you, Mike.
We're trying to ring the bell? I know, we've been hearing the bell. I've been ringing it a lot. How about this? You want a little nip of this? It's high proof.
We need a new lighter. Thank you.
We need a new lighter?
This one wasn't, well.
Are you still enjoying that
Here,
cigar?
toss that one here. I'll get you a new one.
I know I've been lighting my cigar so much because we've been blabbering on here.
You talk
That's all
so much.
Well, we got through. You've lived. It sounds like you lived a pretty eventful
You
life.
know what? My wife made a bourbon
She did.
when she went to Kentucky.
Yeah.
I should have brought it. We should have.
You definitely should have brought it.
Man.
You blew it.
I did. I was gonna bring it up and do it at a giveaway of one of your things, and I keep forgetting.
Well, that is a tasty pour.
That is a tasty burger.
That is.
That's another good quotable movie.
It's a limited release too.
Pulp Fiction.
I have not.
Is a tasty burger.
I have only seen a little bit of Pulp Fiction. I've heard I need to watch all of it.
Maybe.
Okay.
It's disturbing.
Are you a? His name is
Tarantino?
Are you a Tarantino fan?
Not really.
Now I do like I enjoyed Inglourious Bastards. Watching Nazis.
I didn't see that.
Watching Nazis get annihilated. All right, what do we?
You know that's how Hitler tied his shoes,
proof.
right?
What's that?
You know that's how Hitler tied his shoes. And little Nazis.
All right, just a little. Kenny, you want some? All right. Take a little sip here and tell me what you think.
Yeah.
Kenny here is another regular here at their lounge. Kenny, you're okay being on camera, right? Yeah. All right, what do you think of that? You think you noticed the pear and brandy rum? Sicilian, come on, you're Italian. You notice that Sicilian Amaro cast? Right.
Italians are more great cooks.
Now,
I gotta tell you.
would you?
Kenny, are you a good cook?
Oh yeah.
Would you go out of your way to buy this?
Yeah.
You need to try a little more. All right.
So you are a good cook?
Oh yeah.
With
pasta.
Did I tell you
Sunday gravy.
my wife bet me I couldn't make a car out of spaghetti? You should have seen her face when I drove pasta.
Oh Lord.
All right. So we'll be sipping on that. So far, it's pretty tasty. It's what do we got this out of?
That's got to be out of Dominican.
Yeah, it's a.
Is it?
No, it's not. It does have some Jamaican rum in
It
there,
has some
but
rum
it
in
is
it.
not. It is a distilled in Tennessee, so not the homeland, but not far off from Kentucky.
Nice.
So we'll sip on that. All right. What do you think, Rex?
It's good.
It's good.
But you know I like mine high proof.
Yeah, I like the high proof stuff.
Dude, when I was a drinker guy, I remember for my high school graduation, my brother got me a bottle of Wild Turkey 101.
Oh yeah, that's a solid
And I
pour.
carried it across the stage with me, which is kind of dumb but they were so happy
In
to see
high
me
school?
go. Yeah,
Okay.
they really wanted me to leave.
Holy
but he
cow,
got me
that's
this
gotta be
porcelain Wild Turkey top on it. Man,
Oh,
it was
all
just
right.
a beautiful, beautiful thing.
All right. Well, I feel like we've got to know you quite a bit personally. Now, obviously, this is a small business podcast as well. We'd like to know what you do for business, and you
My
know,
wife wants to know too.
I know exactly. Sounds like you said your wife does a lot of the work. But anyway,
She's awesome.
obviously you've lived a well-traveled life. Hey, everyone's drinking. Why did you decide to leave, let's say, the private sector and decide to go and be your own boss? What was it about it? Was it the freedom of being your own boss? Maybe the windfall? Although I would argue that being a small business owner, you don't get that immediate windfall. But what was it about going your own way that,
This story's a little bit.
Okay.
So in 2014, my wife owned her own business, and the last kid we had in the house was graduating from high school.
Okay.
We lived in Austin, Texas, which is. Have you ever heard of Sodom and Gomorrah? It's a lot like that.
All right.
Austin was a great place to live in the 70s and 80s.
Sure. When it was weird?
It was just weird then.
Okay.
Now it's
Really weird?
Yeah.
It's weird.
yeah. So anyway, I said to her, and it's funny because it showed up on my Facebook page the other day as a memory. I said to her, "I am moving. I hope you come with me." And she did, thank God.
Okay.
And we bounced around trying to figure out. We moved way far away and started slowly coming back because all our grandkids are in Austin area.
Okay.
But in that time, I got bored, so I built a food truck. My first food truck was Hound Dog Eats.
Okay.
It was a gourmet hamburger truck.
Is that because of Fro? I mean,
It was. He was actually the picture on our window. Was
Okay.
Fro, looked like he was in the window.
Okay.
Ready to help serve you.
sure.
And so I make gourmet hamburgers. We specialize with what we call the Hound. It was a buffalo burger with. It was really good.
Now I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, it was a really good burger. I really enjoyed doing that. But if anyone's ever owned a food truck, it's really hard to get rich owning a food truck.
Sure.
Because it's a lot of work.
Margins are pretty slim on
Yeah.
food.
But I really enjoyed doing it. But I ended up selling that truck, and I started a little publishing company.
Okay.
And I did publishing where we did like 4 rent magazines. It was something like that, but we did it in the Belton Temple area. Blah 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 blah.
Okay.
It was during that time we decided, you know what, we really like it here. Let's put down roots. So we bought a house in where we live now. And,
Yeah.
And I really like cooking, so I got another food. Oh, when I had my food trailer, I also opened a commercial kitchen because we had to have a commercial kitchen. So I did that, and that was a lot of fun. Sold all that stuff. It ended up coming this way, and I opened another food truck, still Hound Dog Eats, but this one was a really big food truck. It had the back porch on it with barbecue pit and stuff like that, and did some of that. And I owned that truck very briefly.
Okay.
Because one of our first events is when I had my heart attack.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's a lot of work.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress.
It's a lot of and a lot of work.
Okay.
So T was like, "No, your life insurance isn't that good. I need to stick around a while." So I ended up selling that one too. But I really liked being my own boss and everything.
Okay.
So I was thinking to myself, what can I do? What can I do? And then I was thinking, you know what? I'm gonna buy some houses and rent those out, and I'll do that next.
Okay.
So I got my real estate license, and turns out I really liked it. And you know, people have told me for years, you ought to sell real estate. To tell you, I mean, so I love the whole art of the deal, doing the deal together, doing it, kneeling down. I love negotiating. Absolutely love negotiating.
Okay.
I used to for fun would pull over to a car lot and negotiate the buying a new
Tortured car
just
salesman.
because I love to negotiate.
Okay.
And I got some cool cars too because of that. But so then I was thinking, you know, I really enjoy doing that. So I really, really enjoy doing the real estate thing. So I went to work for the first company I worked here. I'll plug him, Isabel Real Estate. Josh is a great guy. I like him a lot. He taught me a lot.
Okay.
But then it was like, you know what, I need to grow my business.
Okay.
So I went to work for a very big real estate company, and I stayed there for 1 month.
Okay.
And it's a great company, but it was a lot like drink the Kool-Aid, you know. And if you know me, you know me.
Yes.
I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker.
No.
So
I agree
I
with
stayed
that.
there for a month, and then I went to work for All City,
Okay.
which is another great company. I like it a lot. The great thing about the big company I worked for, they teach you how to be a real estate agent that works for a big company.
Okay.
All City teaches you how to be your own business and how to
Okay.
do your own business and stuff like that. And they're a great company, and I learned a lot. I've been with them for 5 or so years now,
Okay.
and really like them a lot. Learned how to be my own business and do everything. And what appealed to me is, and here's the thing, and I tell people who are in the business that I work with, title companies and stuff like that, if it ever gets to the point where I'm harassing you about my paycheck, tell me, because I need to get out. Because
Sure.
it's not anything about that.
It's not about the money.
I mean, it's great that you make money.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
What it really is, if you look at it like, you know, you're helping people. You're helping people buy, especially in this area, because you're helping a lot of soldiers.
All right. Yeah, you're right.
Buy
This is
houses
very,
and doing stuff like that. And I really look at it as something that I like to do, and I think it's something that helps people, because anyone can sell a house. To go along and sell a house, but I don't sell houses to anyone that isn't a friend of mine. And if you're not a friend of mine when we started, you were when we leave.
Yeah.
You know, and
that's kind of your goal, is
It is.
to develop that relationship with your clients.
It's what I told you before. It's like when I don't just want to sell you a house. I want to help you solve a problem, and not only you. I want to help your family. I want to help your kids, your friends.
Okay.
And now we've got to a point we don't do hardly any transactions that don't come to us that we don't know.
Okay.
Or they don't, or they come highly referred by someone we've helped before.
Okay.
And I mean, because we've had other people call us, and if it's not a fit, it's not a fit. And you know, especially when you're first starting out, you just want to help anyone buy a house because you need the paycheck.
Yeah,
and
yes.
That's not where we are now. We like helping people, but we don't hardly. I think we had 2 transactions last year that were someone that just called our number. Everything else was people that were either referred to us, they were family, they were friends, but we knew
kind of
those people.
business.
It is, and people say, well, where do you work? Well, I sold a house in San Antonio.
Okay.
I've sold a house in Bastrop, Waco, and out west. You know.
So you have quite the range then.
Yeah, because we're not
Central
going
Texas
around.
is
Yeah,
a
we're not
big
going
area.
around looking at houses. We're going. You know, to helping people find their next home.
Okay.
Maybe their final home.
Sure.
So, and we'll do that wherever it takes. if we, we're in that relationship for you. That's what we do. We don't really advertise for business. We just help the people we know.
Well, you answered like a whole bunch of questions that I wanted to ask you. Obviously, you're a real estate agent.
Right.
Which is very necessary in the times we live because people always need a place to live.
Always need a place to live.
How specifically then, because there are a whole bunch of real estate agents out there, how specifically does your business help people compared to other real estate agents around it? Because there's a lot of people to choose from, obviously.
There is. Well, you can't swing a dead cat in Texas without hitting a realtor.
Yeah, no,
everyone's a
that's
realtor.
true.
And especially, 2 years ago, last year,
sure,
anyone could sell a house. It was that kind of market where, people came in and they were selling houses and it was easy.
Sure.
There was a house I sold last year. I think I told you this story. I was hammering the sign in the front yard. Someone drove by and said, "How much?" I told him. He said, "Will they take this?" I said, "I'll ask him."
Yeah.
And I again, the sign's not even all the way in the yard. I called him and told her, and she was like, take that right now."
Okay.
So I said, "Yeah, she'll take it, but I'm leaving my sign here until it closes."
Yes, exactly. It's not a done deal.
But it was that easy. And now we're in a market now where it's not that easy, and you're working again, which is great. Especially if you care about people, it's great because you're helping them. And we've had some horror stories where we're trying to help someone with not a great, because it's not just the $1 million houses.
No, everyone needs a house.
Everyone needs a house, and
or a place to live.
Last year we were helping this one couple, and they had a modest budget. Maybe this was 2 years ago. They had a modest budget, and everyone at that time, if there was a house for $150 or less, people going and buying it cash. It was really hard.
Sure.
And we worked really hard, and we put in a lot of offers for this couple.
Okay.
And we ended up finding them their home, and after about 13 tries, and which is our record right now.
13. Okay.
Yeah, because people would we put in an offer, but people go in and buy them for cash, and it's hard to turn down cash.
It is hard to turn down.
They stuck with us, and we stuck with them, and we ended up getting them in a nice house, and I felt really accomplished there because you know what, a lot of times in that market, especially people like, I'm not going to mess with this.
Sure.
So
yeah, it can get frustrating when you offer, and get. You feel like what you're doing.
It can get frustrating, but it was really fulfilling, and and this couple, they still show up when we do stuff now, and we get the office, and we have margaritas or whatever. They'll always be there. They were there for the crawfish boil.
Yeah, they're friends. Yeah, I know.
But they're friends, and that's the way. And actually, they came to us recommended by one of the lenders.
Okay.
And they. Now they're part of our family. We hang out with them, we do stuff with them, and it's awesome to build that relationship. And no doubt, we didn't do this because of that, but there's no doubt they buy another home, I know who they're buying it with.
Yeah, you've built that rapport with them,
and I don't take that for granted. These are people that we love, and we love working with them.
Well, which kind of answers the next thing I wanted to ask you, who your ideal customer is. Now, obviously, I would gather anyone that needs a home, but the way you've kind of talked about people that are referred to you are maybe your ideal customer. You're not going to turn down people, probably.
We have.
You want to help, okay, but you...
We have. If someone comes in with a bunch of demands and can I curse on this?
You've already cursed, so really.
If someone comes in with a bunch of demands and a shitty attitude, we're not a good fit.
Okay.
We like to have fun, but you can have fun and take care of business at the same time.
Okay.
And if someone comes in and they're just their attitude is lacking because you're kind of like this too. My attitude is a reflection of yours.
Yeah.
We're not going to enjoy working together. And if you don't enjoy working with someone, you probably and I'd be more than happy to give them a referral to someone else.
Well, there you go. Yeah, that's it. At least you're still helping them, but not directly.
We've had there's there was a couple of customers that we ended up firing.
That's a thing.
It is a thing.
Customers?
It is a thing to where and it's not like you fire them. But maybe we're just not a fit.
Sure.
Let me give you a couple of names of someone who could maybe help you. And it's funny because one of the couples that I did that with called me recently, and they were like, "Hey, do you mind doing this, this, and this?" Not at all. I don't mind doing that.
Okay.
I wasn't working with them, but I was getting them tax information and stuff like that.
Sure.
But and it's not that they're bad people or we're bad people. It's just not a good fit.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned this. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting a real estate agent.
Right.
With that said,
That's a Texas.
that's a Texas
Yeah, that's a
phrase.
Texas. Have you heard that before?
Well, a lot of people are moving here, so there's a lot of
yeah.
you know,
There's a lot of
need
agents.
for
So
homes.
there's a need for them.
So with that said, why should people choose you versus the thousands of real estate agents they can hit with a dead cat?
Okay, so
Why
what sets us apart?
Yeah, what sets you apart? What is
So-
the experience like working with you and Teresa?
Well, let me bring Teresa into this for a second.
Okay.
So as you know, she was a business coach, and she was going all over the country, coaching businesses, doing what business coaches do, right?
Yes.
And so a few years ago, I said, and she works hard, and she'll stay up all night working. She works hard.
Okay.
And I was saying, you ought to get your real estate license, and the two of us together we complement each other because she's laser focused on fun.
Are you like back office type, like the busy stuff?
Well, no, she's great at selling houses. She's great at
Okay,
all of it.
all right.
But she's laser focused, and when you're looking at a lot of houses, I mean, it gets tedious, and we'd like to keep it fun.
Okay, yeah.
Just because it's fun doesn't mean it's not really focused. Because the two of us together are a great complement to each other because we're so different.
So the
I
team.
think that's why the marriage
So you
works.
provide a team atmosphere for people.
Absolutely, and one of us is always available.
Okay.
If I'm off fishing with my brothers,
Yeah.
she's around. But she is she's really, really, really good at it. Like she is at everything she's ever done.
So you provide a great experience as
great
well
experience,
as education and
And there's a lot of
and-
education.
and shepherding
It's not
a-
just going out and looking at a house.
Well, it's hard to buy a house.
Well,
It's
it
a
is.
lot of work.
And it's the
And
most
selling a
expensive
house.
thing you're going to buy in your life, probably.
Yeah,
know?
and well, I one day would like to buy one with cash, but I am not rolling in those circles yet. Not rolling in the deep yet, but
But when
it'd be
you
fun.
are,
That's right.
I'll be ready.
That's right.
No, but it's fun, and when you care about the people that you're working with, and all real estate agents, more or less,
Yeah.
most all of them. I can't say all of them. 'Cause
Sure.
there's no.
There's always a dud here and there.
Yeah. So, whenever, for the most part, they care. But when we have like a personal relationship with our clients, and when you do that, it puts a little more stress on you. But like if I was selling you a house.
Why stress? Because you want to.
Because I want to make you happy. I want
Okay.
to achieve the best results for you, and I'm going to put a lot of pressure on myself to make sure you get the best deal you can.
Okay. Buying or selling.
Buying or selling.
Okay.
And sometimes Teresa and I, we have this little thing. There's 4 people involved in every real estate transaction. There's the buyer and the buyer's agent. There's the seller and the seller's agent.
Okay.
4 people. If all 4 people win, that's a great transaction.
Sure.
And we try to strive to all 4 people win in every transaction. And there's been a couple that we haven't hit.
Well, yeah,
We haven't hit them all,
business.
and that sucks. But
you're striving for it.
I don't think I don't know that we've lost, but I feel bad sometimes for the other people that were represented, and it's like, man, that may not have been a good transaction for them or the realtor, but
But you're working on the
that's
best.
someone
You're
else.
working
We're
on the
working
behalf.
the best we possibly can for our customer.
Sure.
Because we're a fiduciary to our clients.
Mm-hmm.
Fiduciary.
Another word. Oh, look at it work. Hey!
and what that means
Big words.
is we have a financial interest in it, and we have the financial responsibility to our clients.
Yeah.
And we don't like to put the douche in fiduciary. We want to make sure that everyone wins.
Mm-hmm. All right. Whew, that is hot. That is some high proof.
That's some hot bourbon.
Yeah. Okay, so if anyone's obviously reading the news nowadays, things have changed in the real estate market.
I hate that.
Yeah, it's not like you were mentioning. It's not.
Yeah.
It's a little bit harder nowadays.
It is.
What is the biggest challenge being a real estate agent now, and how are you tackling that?
Well, education is key.
Sure.
'Cause
Fundamental.
Education is fundamental.
Isn't that they said that in some?
That was that Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah,
thing.
exact. Or
No, reading is fundamental.
Reading is fundamental. Well, that's true too.
That's right.
Education is too.
Yeah.
Let's just lump in education
Yes.
into that.
So education is key, and there's a lot of parts to buying a house. You're always working with lenders, you're working with title agents, and there's a lot of rules. There's a lot of rules. And so education is key. And I think, like right now, it's not like it was because 2 years ago you can buy a house, you get 2.5% interest rate,
Yeah.
everything was great. But you were buying a house for, a couple of years ago, you were buying a $300,000 house for $500,000, but you got 2% interest. Now you're buying a $300,000 house for $300,000, but it's 6.5 or 7% interest. Which I don't like quoting numbers, and I always tell people I am not a lender.
Sure.
But you're still spending about the same amount of money.
Sure.
It's just different. It's the cake's cut differently.
Yes. People are getting different money.
Yeah, you're still spending about the same amount of money, but it just sounds, oh my gosh, the interest rate is so high. My first house I bought, it was 12%.
Yeah.
So it's all relative.
Historically, the rates aren't.
Yeah.
So that's probably the biggest challenge right now is
because people
is
who are
helping
buying
people
houses right
overcome
now
that.
have always had low interest rates.
Yeah.
Now the interest rates they're still low, but they're just not as low as they were.
Sure. So just managing people's expectations.
Absolutely.
Probably.
Absolutely.
So with that said, real estate obviously is cyclical, and there's always cyclical. Yeah. Hey.
Hello.
Yep. Look at that. Peanut gallery didn't help out there.
Slackers.
Well, real estate seems to be a trendy. There's always a trend, the way the houses are built or where you're going to live. Obviously when the pandemic hit, people are like, I'm getting out of the city. I'm getting back to the suburbs, the country. What do you see, or from your research, what trends do you see in real estate now, and then maybe in the future for people to be aware of before they make a decision?
Well, I think you're right about that. I think people are trying
Your
to get
crystal
out
ball,
of
if you were to look at the crystal ball.
I got a crystal ball.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So
yeah, you do.
I think you're right. People are starting to get out of the city and stuff like that, which is a great opportunity to get out. And people are looking for smaller, better places to raise their children, which sometimes that gets lumped in with, let's move out to the country and go to a smaller school, yada, yada, yada. But it's also a great time for people to buy in the city because people are moving out of the city, and it's great for investors to buy in the city because there's always going to be people in the city.
People always need a place. Well, it'd be nice if everyone had a place to live, but yes, people always are moving. They always need a place to live.
That's right. That's right.
So the trends are, do you see that people continuing to migrate out of the cities and into the suburbs and into the rural?
I think right now we're seeing that a lot, and that's fine with me because we're pretty much in a rural area.
Has that created more competition for all that, obviously?
Yeah, but competition's not a bad thing.
That's
Competition's
true.
a great thing, especially for the consumer.
That's true. That is exactly right. Because sometimes, it works. Oh, yikes, that's a hot.
Careful, that's
Fire's dangerous, I guess, right?
Hot.
Fire's
Fire
dangerous.
hot.